social studies we're going to get started on. I need a social studies notebook out, and you're going to pull up the lesson 4 PDF in chapter 3 so we can take some notes today.
Miss Mom, when you say social studies notebook, you sound like biology.
Social studies notebook. He does get excited about things, doesn't he?
Carl gets overexcited about
This is
things.
Carl Zeus saying, get your social studies notebooks out.
And then you got Bill Nye. Get your science notebooks out. Get out of the social studies.
Oh boy. All right.
That's social study, guys.
On a blank page, you should have vocab, people, places for chapter 3, lesson 4 done. So you're going to turn to the next page. You're going to write chapter 3, lesson 4 notes. Roman numeral 1 is the Northwest Passage. You can set your notes up however you prefer. I'm going to put them up this way just because it's easier when I'm typing. Okay, if you want to do the T-chart or you want to do it this way or the one with the little box and the bullet points, that's up to you. As long as you're taking the notes for social studies are the most important. Okay? I'll give you a second, get your notebook set up and get ready, and then we'll get started.
Trying to figure out what page something.
Yeah.
The next lesson for the notes, when we type it, how would we type it in our
You're looking on your iPad. And it's better to write on. I mean, sometimes we will, but. And you have some of those summary sheets that I post for you. You can type. It's just nice to have all the notes in one place.
Yep.
Okay. So looking and writing the information down tends to help remember that as opposed to, because when you're typing it, you're so focused on where the letters are that you're not thinking about what you're putting down.
You should tell that to my room. My room doesn't have anything organized.
Oh boy.
This one?
Yes. You like that? It's a big bag of mints, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have one.
Holy crap. We'll see. She said if you want to buy it.
It said that they have 600 in there.
Here we go. The Northwest Passage. What are some questions we might be asking ourselves before we start reading this particular section on page 139? Canyon, what can we ask? Remember, think about those 5 W words. Who, what, when, where, why.
Who is the Northwest? Wait.
You could ask a who question about the Northwest Passage.
What is the Northwest Passage?
We could ask that. What is the Northwest Passage, right? We don't know what that is, so now I'm curious what it is. Sean, another one.
Where in the Northwest is it? And
Okay.
who did it?
Okay, who found it? Where is it? What is it? Good. Those are all good questions. Kenny?
What is it northwest of?
Okay. You might ask why. Why is there a Northwest Passage? Or why did they find it? Or why did they try finding it? Okay, those are all good questions we could ask. Nick?
Who found the Northwest Passage?
Who found it? Yep. Okay, so we're going to keep those in our mind as we're reading. You can write them down if you want. Okay, you could just write who, what, why. You don't have to write the entire sentence or the entire question, but just to remind you kind of what you're looking for. Okay? And we're actually going to listen here, so I don't have to try and yell through this thick mask today. Question, Sean?
Because this is technically our Friday, we have to do the whole passage complete today? No.
We're going to get through the whole lesson. That's my plan.
No.
Other
Why did you
nations
say that?
explore.
All right. He's
What
reading
to
on
know?
page 138.
Why did other Europeans explore North America, and what did they find? Vocabulary: Northwest Passage, mutiny, people: Giovanni da Verrazzano, Jacques Cartier, Henry Hudson. Places: St. Lawrence River, the Netherlands, Hudson Bay, Cloacaskill, main idea and details. You are there. The year is 1609. You are a member of the Lenni Lenape tribe living on the island your people call Mannahatta. Your father tells you that a few days earlier, scouts from your village saw a huge boat on the river. The scouts reported that the men on the boat wore strange coverings. Some people in your village seem eager to talk with the newcomers. You hope they are peaceful. The Northwest Passage. By the early 1500s, Spain ruled over a large and very rich empire. Spanish ships returned from the Americas with treasure chests full of gold and silver. New expeditions also added to Spain's growing land claims. The rulers of other European countries still wanted to find a shortcut to Asia so that they too could gain wealth and power. Searching for a new route. The route followed by Magellan's expedition around South America to Asia was long and dangerous. Many people thought that Asia might be reached more easily by sailing through or around North America. This belief led explorers to search for a route they called the Northwest Passage. The first country to find this waterway would control an important new trade route between Europe and Asia and gain great riches. Some European countries sent explorers to look for the Northwest Passage. The search began in the 1500s and lasted for hundreds of years. Reading check. Main idea and details. Why did European explorers want to find the Northwest Passage?
Oh, we're going to stop there. All right. Why did they? It's part of our questions we had asked. Why did they want to find it? Jackson?
Because they needed a shorter route to get to Asia.
Right, they thought there was still a shorter route. Why did they want that shorter route so bad? What was the point of it? Riker?
So they can save food, and like they could save food.
It would be more efficient for sure, right? What else, Nick?
Time.
It would save time. How does that help them? How does this route being more efficient help them in the long run? Juliana?
So it didn't take us a long time, so we could like travel more, like back and
Good.
forth more.
You could go back and forth more. If I'm going back and forth more with goods that I can provide people that they don't have, what is that going to do for me? Sean?
You're gonna have more food.
You are. Not just food, though. Not just food. What else are we going to have more of, Landon?
Food and fame?
What's that?
Food and fame?
Maybe fame, right? Food, fame. All that means what to them?
Money.
Money, but not necessarily money, right? Wealth, because it wasn't money like we think of today. Riches, okay? Wealth, riches, those are the kinds of things they were wanting. So they wanted to find this Northwest Passage, right? Wanted a shortcut to Asia still, right? For wealth and riches.
Wait, I don't get this. I have a question.
What's that, Nick? You could do either one. If this is easier for you, if it's easier for you to do it the way I'm doing it now, then do that way.
I do
That's fine.
always. I do
Okay.
always.
Yes.
We were said Manhattan. Is that Manhattan, New York? Manhattan?
Oh, here.
Yeah.
Is that what Manhattan is now?
Possibly. I would
Yeah,
think
that's
so, right? That would make sense.
Yeah, that's what I was
Riker?
thinking.
So you know how they're like really trying to find a shortcut? Did they have to find it?
We're gonna have to read and find out. Right? So we had also asked what the Northwest Passage is or where it is. Do we really know where? No, we don't necessarily know where, but what are they speculating? What are they kind of guessing that this is gonna be? Jackson? Yeah, they were thinking they could sail through or around North America. So that's kind of where they're thinking this passage is. Possibly through or around. I'm gonna add in sail. Okay? We got some good things here. Eli, was that you that said wealth? Huh? Was that you that said wealth earlier?
I said riches.
Riches. Who else gave us some responses here?
We have them?
You commented. Landon. Well, we'll give you, we got time. We got a whole lesson here to go through, okay? So if you already got one, try to give somebody else a chance, okay? Cause I sometimes forget. Yeah, go ahead.
What if we get one for someone else? What?
Like I give it to you and you give it to
Yeah.
someone else? Bless you. Bless you. All right, we got a couple of notes already about our Northwest Passage. When we're done writing, we're gonna go to page 140. And I'm gonna give it a Roman numeral 2. Here we have Verrazano. And Cartier. We're gonna read about these two explorers. Cartier, yep. Open.
Looks like Carter.
Looks like Cartier.
I thought it was Carter.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Cartier. You'll see the pronunciation here when we start reading.
So the R is silent,
Mm-hmm.
like the T in my last name.
Yep.
You have a T in your last name?
Yeah, both names.
You didn't know that?
No,
Very fancy.
I'm not really
Yeah,
good
it's
Italian.
I like it.
Well, no.
What you need, Emmy?
Wait, you're Italian?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
mixed with
you ready with some
German
questions?
and
Okay.
Italian.
Some people are still writing, and then we'll talk about questions. Here, we'll ask. All right, so Roman numeral 2, Verrazano and Cartier. What could we ask about this particular section? What might we want to know? And sometimes, just looking at this, well, first looking at this, you may not realize they're people, right? But you did vocab people places, so you should know those are two explorers. Those are two people. So now we've done that preview. Now we can look at this section and think, what do I want to know? What are my questions, John? Where did they explore? Sure. Josh?
Who were they?
Who were they? Yeah, who are these people? Why are they in our social studies book? Jackson? Yeah, what's so important? Emmy?
What did they explore?
Okay, what did they explore? Kenny?
Did they travel alone or with a bunch of people?
Okay, so did they have people with them? Did they have a crew? Was it just them on their own? Okay, what did they find? Were they successful in their travels? All of those questions we're going to try and answer. Are we going to find answers to all of them?
No.
Probably not, but we're going to get what we can,
Like a
okay?
99
Let's
We're gonna get
listen.
great.
Exactly, just keep adding more knowledge. Here we go.
Our brains
then we
gonna
get so-
pop out of our heads.
Verrazano
We're
and
gonna get so much
Cartier.
knowledge that our brain's gonna
The
explode.
French king, Francis I, was one of the many European rulers who wanted to find the Northwest Passage through North America. In 1524, he sent an Italian sailor, Giovanni da Verrazano, to find it. The French in North America. Verrazano set sail in January 1524. He landed on the coast of what is now North Carolina in early March. Verrazano then sailed farther north along the Atlantic coast. He sailed into several bays and rivers, searching for a waterway that led to Asia. Along his route, Verrazano met different Native American tribes. He could not speak their languages. He wrote that some tribes were friendly, but others were not. Verrazano did not sail any farther north than Newfoundland. He wrote, "My intention, aim, on this voyage was to reach Cathay and the extreme eastern coast of Asia, but I did not expect to find such an obstacle of new land as I have found." Verrazano made 2 more voyages to the Americas to try to find a water route to Asia. On these trips, he searched the coastlines of North America and South America, but still found no passage.
All right, let's talk about Verrazano first. Okay, what can you tell me about him? Who is he? What was he doing? Ava?
He's an Italian sailor.
Okay, an Italian sailor sent by the French king, right? So, Verrazano. An Italian sailor. What was he looking for?
How do you spell Italian?
What was he looking for, Adam?
A waterway through South America.
Yeah, so he was trying to find this waterway, or water route to Asia. Okay, so he was looking for this Northwest Passage. That's what they were calling it, but they didn't even know if it existed, if it was something that was possible to find. Okay, anything else about Verrazano? We covered most of them. Wyatt?
Did the French king send him to find the Northwest Passage?
Right, he did, and that was that waterway. So they're trying to find that way to sail through North America to get to Asia. So they're calling it the Northwest Passage because they didn't know what else to call it at that point. They didn't even know if it existed. Okay, Sean?
Was the Northwest Waterway kind of through Hudson Bay and some rivers up there in Canada?
Not what they were looking for. Like they were looking to get from one side to the other, kind of a shortcut instead of having to go around the big continents.
Oh, but I don't think that's possible.
Right. But do they know that?
No.
No, because they're just learning about this land, right? They're exploring it, they're trying to figure it out. Okay, so that's why they think, well, there has to be something. So we're gonna look, and then if they're not successful, then they know there isn't something.
I mean,
Okay.
imagine how bad they felt, like, in the skinniest part of Central America, it's like 50 miles, but they have to sail thousands of miles to get around it.
Right? Yep. Kenny?
Ronzo set sail in January 1524 and got in Carolina in early March.
Okay, so he left there, right? He set out to find this place and came into North Carolina in March. And then he goes farther along the Atlantic coast, right? And keeps kind of sailing down and around. Let's read about, or listen, about Cartier and see what we can find here.
In 1534, King Francis sent the French navigator Jacques Cartier to look for the Northwest Passage. The king also told Cartier to search for gold. Between 1534 and 1541, Cartier made 3 trips to North America. On his first trip, he reached the mouth of the St. Lawrence River. Cartier claimed all the land around it for France. Cartier traveled up the St. Lawrence River on his second voyage. During the trip, he wrote that he saw fish in appearance like horses. These were not really fish, but walruses. The expedition inland went as far as what is now Montreal. Instead of reaching the Pacific, however, Cartier reached a barrier, river rapids. His boat could not pass the fast-moving water, and he had to turn back. In 1541, Cartier visited the St. Lawrence River again, but was never able to find the Northwest Passage. In search of gold, he sailed up the river past what is now Quebec. Finding nothing, he returned to France. However, Europeans knew more about North America because of Cartier's voyages. Reading check. Main idea and details. What were the aims of Cartier's expeditions?
Okay, so those questions here at the end of these different sections kind of help you summarize some of the information. Okay, we did that with Verrazano. Now we're going to talk about Cartier. Okay, what was the point of his expedition? What was he supposed to be doing? Okay, Kenny?
Find gold and riches.
Yeah, he needed to find gold and what else? I heard somebody say it. The Northwest Passage, right? Oops, I guess I should put in here, Cartier was to find. And who sent him? Raise your hand. Who sent him, Canyon? Don't type anymore? Oh, I can scroll up here too so we can see it better. Okay, so the French king sent him again, right? King Francis. So he was really wanting to find this passage. King Francis.
I think you forgot the first one. By.
Oh, yep, I did. Sent by. There we go. Okay. Hang on, I'm gonna let them write and then I'll get some more information here. I got some more questions. Getting that, Riker? So we need to think about Cartier, his travels, and if he was successful or not. I'm gonna turn this back that way so it's a little easier to see. What do you think, Sean?
Well, I'll answer that, but also he discovered the St. Lawrence
Good. Yep.
River.
He did.
And though he was not successful in finding it, that he helped them discover a lot more about America.
Good. Very good. Yes. So he wasn't successful in finding the Northwest Passage. He did find this river and discovered more about America. So his travels were successful. And I'm going to add some more here. Found St. Lawrence River and learn.
So it sounds like all they did was sail to America and stuff.
Pretty much. Learn more about North America.
I think the story could be a freestyle if you just put a V on it.
You could, but didn't find the passage. All right. So that's Cartier. When we're done writing that, we're going to turn to page 142 and 143. I'm not. I'm just going to get ready.
There's too much to write.
That's probably hard to make out there here. How's that? Can you see where we're at? So we just added this. Okay, and you can abbreviate things. So river, you might write RVR instead of writing the whole word out. North America, you might write NA, NA or N America. However you want to write it. I type it out because I'm typing. Okay, if I were writing, I would abbreviate some things.
Wait, NA is North America too, right?
Correct. But if you're not going to remember that, then I would write a little more. I'd write N America or.
Wait, so you answered my question. I said, well, they're trying to find it so bad. Did they find it? No, they didn't. So you answered my question.
No, they didn't. They learned other stuff, but they did not find the passage.
So the passage is still out there?
No, this doesn't exist.
Not anymore.
Unless the land changes again somehow, dramatically,
Well, land change.
right?
Lane goes, oh, these fifth graders are learning about the passage. Let's just make one.
There we go.
Let's make them have your passage. They made a
All right, I hope we're writing because I'm getting ready to move on.
Miss Long.
The Golden Trail.
Did they make a passage to Central America so that they don't have to sail all the way around?
They used to, yeah.
I mean, you think about it, nowadays we don't really do a lot of sailing, right? How do we get from one place to the other?
Yeah, but like those big cargo ships that carry like semi-trailers and stuff.
Yeah, those probably have to go big way, 'cause those have to go down some of the rivers.
My eyes are watering from all the mids.
All right, Hudson's Voyages. He is our next explorer here. So this is where we kind of get into some information that might be a little more familiar, where we talk about Hudson Bay, We're more in the New York area now, so you had mentioned Manhattan earlier about in that kind of preview we saw, okay? So Hudson does some exploring. We've already read about 2 explorers, right? We found out who they were, who sent them, what they were looking for, and what they found. So 4 questions to think about. Who sent that person? Okay. Who were they? Who was this explorer? Where was he from? Okay. What was he looking for? What was his purpose? And what did he end up finding? Okay. You're going to read. I'm going to give you about 10 minutes. You're going to read quietly on your own Hudson's Voyages. Write some information down about Hudson. And then we're going to share what we came up with. Okay? 10 minutes. No. Quietly reading. Emmy, did you have a question? No, you good? Write them.
So we're reading and then putting our own stuff down.
Yep, you're gonna read about Hudson, and he's on the next page, so there's like a little thing here.
No, I didn't get another one. I'm still eating the same one.
It has a sad ending.
Okay, how are we doing? Still reading, still writing? Alright, a few more minutes? Okay.
If the explorers were here now, like Cartier explored like Canada, and he wrote like Canada, he would kind of describe what is the Canada town.
Yeah, you would make
And he's like, oh, well, this is land and we're doing a bunch of buildings. What happened?
They would be, wouldn't they?
This one. I found 4 and answered the question.
Yeah, there's quite a few for Hudson. See a lot of good notes being written down. Finishing up.
Yeah,
All right.
I need like 2 more minutes.
All right.
Yeah.
After that, did he turn the freestyle on again? This guy could be on XXL 2021.
I'll turn it on. You can give it a beat, Eli. We'll see how it goes.
Oh no.
He said, "Oh no."
He did say, "Oh no."
Normally we try.
Well, you don't want me to give it a beat because it won't be very rhythmic.
You could just search one up on YouTube.
This one.
Yeah.
This guy could be on XXL 2021.
Well, you can go. But we're gonna get started here, Sean, okay?
Can we actually try it? Making your freestyle.
Can we actually try more?
You already ate it?
He's had it for like this whole lesson. Just like I've had mine. Yeah. I don't say the same
I searched the time and it was going to. I searched up the beat.
You got 4 now.
Good.
Now 5.
All right, let's talk about Hudson.
I got 2 more.
He's a busy guy. What did he do? What's happening with Hudson? Josh?
By the 1600s, kings and queens were no longer the only ones paying for expansions.
Right? Who was? Who was paying for those expeditions now?
European trading companies.
Yep. European companies were now getting involved in paying for these expeditions. It wasn't necessarily kings and queens. Big companies wanted the land. Good. Okay, what else can you tell me? Landon?
And trading companies started sending out troops to find the passage.
I'm sorry, one more time.
And trading companies started sending out people to send the passage.
Yep, so they had, there was a couple of companies. We had the Dutch East India Company. We had, where's it at? The European company trading company that Josh mentioned. Yep, what else? Juliana? So England paid for his first 2, right? And where did he end up? Greenland, you mentioned. Yep, so he ended up in Greenland. Let's get some of this stuff written down. So, hang on. Hudson's voyages. So, Hudson, so he looked 4 times, right? He took 4 voyages to find what? What was he trying to find, Landon?
The passage?
The passage, yeah, trying to find the Northwest Passage. Okay, so his first 2 voyages were paid by European companies, right? And he found Greenland, I think they said an island, right? Wasn't an island
Yeah.
east of Greenland.
Yeah, he went east of Greenland and so.
Found it.
That sounds like Iceland. No. Iceland is
Okay.
No, yeah, I
What else? We got a lot going on. John?
Then sail farther north.
For the Arctic Ocean. Mm-hmm. But did he find what he was looking for?
No.
No, he still didn't find that Northwest Passage. Good. What else? Emmy?
He cleaned land for England and claimed the entire Hudson River Valley for the Dutch boys.
Okay, so you're looking at here where the Dutch East India Company paid for his voyage, right? For Holland, and he found the Hudson River Valley, and he claimed that for the Dutch. So the Dutch East India Company. We want to mark that that's Holland. Okay. There we go. Hang on, I'll scroll it back up for you, okay? And he claimed the entire Hudson River Valley. Remember, Holland / they also mentioned that they're considered Dutch. There we go.
This long.
Is it? I don't want to cover too much here because you guys might be writing still. How's that? Okay. Yes.
All of this land that they claimed, one of our wars was about getting all that back, right?
You're right. One of the wars happens to be about, well, a lot of the wars during this time happens to be about land. Lots of hands. I like it. June, what do you know? He was an English explorer. Good. And I might add that up here. Okay, you should be able to kind of tack that on. He was an English explorer. Okay. What else, Maya? Yeah, on his fourth voyage, they boot him off, don't they? Okay, they were upset, they were angry, right? It was a long, cold winter, they were suffering, and so they put him and some other crew members on a boat and sent him out to the middle of the ocean. I am going to put that down, but what does he do before that? What happens just before that? Kenny?
Sent by Europeans, he set out to find the passage, but found a bay and named it Hudson Bay, claimed it for England.
Right, so he claims Hudson Bay for England. Okay, claims Hudson Bay for England. So he does a lot for different groups, doesn't he? And then I want to mention, or I want to write down what Maya mentioned. Yep.
Did it say that they ever found the rest of the crew?
Somewhere it might, but not here. It doesn't. Hudson and other crew members sent adrift and never found. All right. I think that's pretty good, and I think I got a lot of mints to hand out. So.
Just take a scoop. Hey, wait, I had one more thing.
One more thing.
Okay. I thought you said that I wasn't.
Oh, I can't hear.
While the European trading companies were sending out people to find the passage, they were also making trade routes.
Yeah, so they're probably making a lot of money, aren't they?
Yeah.
Ooh, sorry. Exactly. That's a good question. That's something that we're gonna continue to learn. Hang on, I got a lot of questions.
Wait, so Mr. Long, I also had
Good, yes. I think I got everybody, didn't I?
Could we actually try that part? Could we actually try making it into a the story?
Oh yeah, no, that'd be fun.
Yep, that's the Hudson Bay.
Yeah.
All right. Hang on, I got a lot of hands up, but let's do this so I can stop the video here. You have in social studies, chapter 3. There should be, if I make it a little bigger here. Chapter 3, lesson 4 worksheets for today. Let me look at it here and see what we're doing. Oh, we've got some matching.
Oh no.
Okay, we need to find when the search began.
Why?
King Francis send? We read about those people. What happened to, how many voyages did Henry Hudson make? Oh, all your notes should be good with this. Okay, if it's not in your notes, where are you going to look? Back in the passage, the information, the PDF. Okay? All right, so that is your social studies assignment for today.